Hello everyone, it's NADI and welcome back to Fake Ass, the series where I review the fake up to the makeup that you love. And today we'll be testing out this fake Morphe 35o palette. As you gorgeous people know, this is about the product, not the people behind it. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy, okay? Thank you. So just in time for fall comes this season's most favorite palette, the Morphe 35o. I saw this baby on AliExpress for just under $12, so I jumped right on it. Granted, the actual palette is only like $15 more, but still that's 15 bucks you're saving. Now, I don't have the 35o palette. I have something better. I have the 35o-M and the 35o-S palettes, which is the 35o split into two. So we can still do comparison swatches, and I may end up doing an eye look with the real and the fake. We'll see. About Morphe, I love the brand, their eyeshadows are fantabulous, but as far as I know, they do not create their own products. They stamp their logo on products. So, in reality, this fake one could actually be the same thing as the real one. Honestly, the fake one has a very chemical, melty plastic smell, which I'm assuming is the packaging, but that smell can seep into the product itself, which is not good because that product is going on one of the most sensitive parts of our body. The packaging on the fake is definitely different and like 150% cheaper feeling. In fact, when I got the fake, it was completely smashed up and a good portion of the shadows were out of their pans and had made a huge ass mess. I have heard of Morphe's doing the same thing, but all three of my Morphe palettes came in perfectly fine. These both came in a box with plastic wrap around the actual case and like this clear plastic insert within the palette, but despite the bubble wrap and box, the fake was still partially destroyed and, like I said, a total pain in the ass to clean up. And though this isn't really advertised as a Morphe fake, the ingredient list is exactly the same, which makes me think that these are from the same supplier. The fake is even labeled as a 35o palette, so I think that's kind of interesting. But what's really annoying is that even though the fake pans are falling out, they're not magnetic, so I can't put them in a Z palette. Before we even swatch, I can already tell you that I probably wouldn't recommend this palette just because of its toxic smell and the fact that some of the shadows came to me completely destroyed, but this may have just been a dud palette. I can't really fairly judge yet. Now let's get to swatch, and you guys know the song. Are you ready? It's swatching time. We're gonna start off with this nice orangey color. The real one was so much more pigmented, but the fake felt more buttery and creamy and just like luxury. This next one didn't look it on camera, but in person, it wasn't as powdery as the real one. This dark brown is so much creamier on the fake. The real one is definitely darker and more pigmented though. And I kind of think that the reason the fakes feel so buttery is because they might have more talc in them, giving them less pigment but a softer feeling. It was pretty obvious that the mattes were similar but not exactly the same. For the shimmers though, completely different story. This one felt exactly the same and looked the exact same, equally as beautiful. For this gold shimmer, the real was so much more powdery and had a ton of fallout. The fake seemed to have a creamy consistency in comparison, but was not as deep gold. Still a very pretty shade though. This red one was legit exactly the same. Okay, so obviously these are very similar. Let's just get into it and start a real versus fake eye look. I did go ahead and prime my lids and place some powder underneath my eyes to catch any fallout, but I'm starting with this nice creamy color all over my eye just to even it out. Morphe's was very powdery, but the powder seemed to stick to my eye, so it was okay. With the fake, it was more chalky and seemed to just brush off my eye. Also, ignore my spider bite in the ear, it still looks gross. Next, I'm taking this light shade and going in the crease and then doing the same with the next color. Really make sure to blend upwards to ombre out the shadow. Baby ain't happy unless the crease is seamless. I noticed the fakes were very difficult to pick up on the brush, like I would rub my brush on there really hard and would get hardly any pigment, so I had to put in 2 or 3 times the work just to equal the Morphe palette. Now I'm taking a mixture of the orange and cranberry. The real is just so pigmented and out of this world, but I'm taking it and sweeping it along the crease and blending it upwards. The fake was very, very hard to get any color payout, and as you can see, it's super pale and I had to keep dipping my brush into the pan and layering it on. I'm taking a teeny tiny bit of this deep brown and tapping it on the outer eyelid and blending it in my crease. Then when most of the product's off my brush, I'm starting to gently blend it upwards to deepen the look. The fake brown was so hard to pick up, you can't even really tell that there's anything on my brush. I was literally using my brush as a shovel, digging into the pan to try to pick pigment up. I'm taking some concealer and applying it to the lid so that my shimmer has a light base to stick to. I'm not using any glue to apply the shimmer, I'm just going straight in with a dry synthetic brush. For the bottom lash, I'm mixing the orange and dark brown and smoking it out. The real side doesn't look as intense as the fake side because the fake kept having fallout, so it would smoke out further and further down, and eventually I just had to stop it, otherwise it would have gone down past my nose, and that ain't sexy. Alright, I hope you don't mind, but I did go and add a few false lashes and some highlight and contour, and my overall verdict, I honestly have to say I'd spend a little more to get the Morphe one. The fake one, it does look the same in the end, but to get there, it was so much harder. It swatched really pretty on my hand, but picking it up with a brush was a completely different story. I had to put layer upon layer upon layer of the fake on just to reach one layer of the Morphe. I guess if you're on a tighter budget and you really don't want to spend the money on a Morphe one, this would be a good second option. Is it comfortable on the eye? It is. Is it pigmented? Indeed. Is it Morphe? Not quite. But there you go. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video and what you'd like to see on future fake ass episodes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnadi, and you can follow me online at thepopluxe.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye.